Tracey. Tea time with Tracey. Come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in. It's tea time with Tracey. Tea time with Tracey. Come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in. Tea time with Tracey. Tea time with Tracey. Come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in. It's tea time with Tracey. Tea time with Tracey. Come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, everyone. Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello. It's tea time with Tracey. Come on in. Come on in. I'm so glad you're here with me on this evening. Come on in. It's tea time with Tracey. And my number one fan is tuned in. My sister, Cynthia Pickens Brewster. I love you, sissy. Thank you for tuning in with Tea Time with Tracey. Come on in. Grab your cup of tea. Let's sit down, let's chat, let's talk, let's work this thing out. It is Tea Time with Tracey. As you all know, Tea Time with Tracey is where we come together, where we have discussions, where we get together to encourage each other, to inspire each other, to motivate each other, and building up and creating unbreakable bonds, mending our bonds, restoring, uplifting, whatever it is that we need to do in our relationships. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy to see all of you popping in. Look at that. I have my YouTube fams over there. Jasmine, I got Tia, Neff on the line here. I have Shannon, Denise. Oh my goodness, I'm super duper excited to see you all tuning in. Please do me a favor and share, 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 share. I normally have a topic of discussion. I normally put it out there, but I didn't do it this time because I was crossed over again. You know, the way I am when it comes down to this tea time with Tracey, I'm really excited that the Lord has put this in my spirit to go forward with this here show. Um, you all know that this is resonated from my book, An Unbreakable Bond, The Ultimate Mother and Daughter Relationship. I don't know if you got your copy, but if you didn't get your copy, please be free to get yourself a copy. You can always go to my website and you can get a copy from there. All you have to do, let me just take you to it so that you can see where you can go to get your copy. You can get your copy through www.traceyhines.com. Get your copy of An Unbreakable Bond, The Ultimate Mother and Daughter Relationship. It is an easy read. Although that is the topic, it is a book that is for everyone, for man, for woman, for young girls. I mean, it suits the whole family, the whole body. It's an easy read, and you will find yourself somewhere along the line in those pages. So please get yourself a copy today. Do not hesitate. Oh my goodness, my administrator is on. Please continue to share. Continue to share. Administrator, I'm trying to consider how I want to go with it on tonight. Should we use the topic matter that we discussed earlier, the one that I initially gave you, and you said follow my brand, or should I go with something that has been contemplating in the back of my mind? I didn't get a chance to discuss it with you all, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these two topics out, and I'm going to let y'all run with it. And so whichever one catch fire, that's the way we're going to go with it. Because remember, Tea Time with Tracey is where we come together. It's all about relationships. Relationships on all levels. That's relationship in marriage, boyfriend and girlfriend, with the hope of it becoming marriage, siblings, um, siblings, even She said the back of our mind topic. We talk about even with family, with grandparents, every aspect of relationships, even when it come down to work related. But we like applicable discussions. Yes, I would say applicable discussions, something that you can apply. And I think that our discussions, viewers, as I am speaking, you are subject. You are even allowed to write your topic that you may even feel that you like to see take place on tonight. That's how serious we are here about us being helpers of one another. Sometimes we have things or questions on our mind, on our heart, and we don't have the platform. And then you never know that you may be questioning yourself, but there is somebody that can be right on here right now who have experienced what you're questioning and can give you the answer that you need. And it is a valid answer, and it's something that will be helpful to your life, as she written, as my administrator written. We can have like applicable discussions, or where you can apply it to your life. I believe that we are helpers of one another, trying to get our whole life together. Yes, you put the words out of my mouth. This is exactly what we're doing here. Helpers of one another, trying to get our whole life together. You see, no one person, no man is an island. I also want y'all to know that I have created a group page. The reason being is because I have been getting a lot of DMs, like messages, where people will ask me questions or sometimes just want to talk, and so I want to open up a group where you can put your discussions in there, and that's something that we can bring to the table. And let's just work together and let's get this done. Because again, like I said, we are helpers of one another, and we know that there is an enemy that is after our soul, and he does not like relationships. Good to see you, cuz he does not like the relationships. He do not. He know that we are better together. So if we are at odds with one another, if we're not trying to build our relationships and make them strong and make them creating unbreakable bonds where that even the winds and the storms that may come, we will not break, we will not fold. We will maintain and stand together. That is the purpose of an unbreakable bond. Because in this life, like I said, we are better together. It is easier to get a thing done when it's more when there's two people. And so when it comes down to relationships, like I said, even in business, even in marriage, family, wherever there's the word relationship, you want to create something that it can withstand the test of time. That's what it's all about. So I thank you all for tuning in on Facebook Live. Let me see who I got coming in here. I just wanted to acknowledge you all. I see you're coming in. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you all. Thank you all. Good to see you, Warwick. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Jane Rowland. Please stay with me. Stay with me. So, the topic, okay, like I said, the first topic I was gonna bring to the table, because like I said, this is going to be a viewer's choice. So I'm gonna put two out there. You pick. But if there is a matter that you feel detrimental that you like to see discussed on here, you are most certainly welcome to put it up. Okay. So that's what we're going to do, because it's all about us interacting with one another. And so the first thing was, um, this was a topic that was given to me by I have three administrators, and one of them gave me this topic, and I thought it was a really great topic. And I thought I would discuss it because I know that with the pandemic and all, we're all in our homes, and we have to take care of our children. And hello there, Jasmine. Good to see you. Good to see you. And it says the topic was, she says, the village stopped raising the kids when the parents started having problems with the village correcting their kids. And now that takes me back in, I think between the 70s, late from the late 70s and earlier on, there was a time where anyone and everyone can most help you with your child, help you with your children, and even chasten your children. But as time started going forward, people started getting away from. I believe that it's because a lot of times the younger they were getting younger and younger, having children, that they began to not appreciate. They didn't really have value understand the value of parenting, and so they were not able to receive the parenting from someone older or someone who's able to tell them. So when they came down to their children, no one can tell them anything about their children. So when the village stopped parenting, when you stop allowing the village to correct your children, that's when we ran into a lot of difficulties there. But the other topic was, um, I written, let me see, what was it? Did I write it down? Did I write it down? I hope I wrote it down. Oh my goodness. I was in discussion. Do you believe, I think I said it last week too. Should you talk about your past relationships in your present? Should you talk about your past relationships in your present? And also, I have a viewer that asked me, he also said to me, he says, um, oh my goodness, what was the question he said? I think I sent it to my administrator. The young man said, let me see where we at. Okay, so I got Tia responded to that first one. Which one you responded to? Should we talk about our past relationship and our present? Or the other question was, the young man said, how do you, this is how he wrote it to me. He said, how do you feel about a woman in a committed relationship when you sleep with your partner every night, sleeping outside the home with friends because they had too much to drink or just want to hang out? Now, you all know that this is a Christian forum, and you know I believe in she said the second question. I believe that we believe in marriage, and my thing, if you're going to be a committed relationship, you should be able to go through marriage. However, everyone's situation is different. But at the end of the day, we must understand that uh, everything that we do, there's consequences. If you're looking to create a relationship that's going to take you to the next level, and let's just say into marriage, you're in a relationship and you're staying out and you're doing things that are contrary to showing commitment, that's a problem there. That's a problem there. But oh, there go my other administrator. I need your help because I'm the topics. It's like it's several topics that I'm behind in that I did not bring to the forefront. So what I'm doing, I'm putting them out there, and hopefully one will catch or someone will draw up a topic they like to see discussed here, and we'll take it from there. Um, Also, with it being a holiday season, a lot of people are having issues with the fact of we're in this pandemic. They cannot be with their families. This is the only time that they get to come together with their family is during Thanksgiving. And so people are feeling weighted down and worrisome and beginning to have anxiety and falling into depression and feeling like that they're all alone. A lot of people have lost family members and friends, so they're feeling a way about this holiday more so than ever. And then because we're not able to be with one another, makes it even more of an issue. And so, blessings. Oh my God, God bless you. And so, my thing is, how do we um, remember, it's all about us creating bonds. It's all about our bonds. It's all about our relationships. It's all about us building up one another. There was three, I think it was three questions that I put out there, three issue matter of discussions that I put out there. Because remember, these are questions that I get from my administrators and from people that DM me. And then there's just some things that I try to put together that I think might be something may be suitable where, as my administrator said, that can be an applicable discussion, something that we can apply, that we can find our way to. Like, I also want to mention we have seniors. You know, right now the seniors, a lot of the seniors, they can't get to their families. They cannot get to their families, and they're afraid and they're scared, and they are, you know, this pandemic is affecting us in every aspect, from relationships with one another, with husband and wife. It's affecting the school system, the children in the school. It's affecting how we function and our holidays and our traditions. The whole thing, it's like my daughter and I were talking, Cole and I were talking the other day, and she was saying, "Ma, it feels like the world is on pause. If I don't went somewhere else, but it feels like the world is on pause, and we're waiting for it to restart again." That's what the feel is. That everything is on pause, and everyone's waiting for it to restart again, and no one really know how to function. But we're just, it's like almost like in a twilight zone. We're going about doing what we do, but we're out of sync. Everyone is a little out of sync, and we're just functioning. We're just functioning, waiting to exhale, so to speak. You know? Um, but come on, y'all, talk to me out there in Tea Time Land. Talk to me, because I just want to know what y'all want to do with them on tonight. What do y'all want to do tonight? Um, and so, listen, my mugs are going to be available for purchase soon. Mm. Listen, so are you out there? Help me out there. Help me out. Help me out. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes. So come on in the room. Yes. Okay, so Jasmine said, yes, truly a problem for the elder people. Can't see their family and they become depressed and not knowing how to deal with everything and become overwhelmed, and it's not fair. This is so true. It is so true. Oh, so, okay, so Tia says, let's speak about past relationships in your current. Okay, y'all, let's talk about that. Oh, my goodness. God bless you, Maisha. Good to see you. So we're going to talk about that. Do you believe that we ought to speak about our past relationships in your current? Now, I'm not sure if, oh yeah, Jasmine said that. Okay. All right. Um, my Tia says, speaking about past relationships in your current. We can do that too. I mean, like I said, we're going to touch on what's going to grab hold of everyone, because that's how we need to flow here. But I believe that it's important to speak about your past relationships in your current, because how you going to know um, who you're dealing with if you don't know from whence they come? Even if your jobs ask you about your past history, so certainly you will want to know about someone's past history in the current relationship. I mean, that's my personal, but someone else may feel like, I've heard people say, what's in the past is in the past, leave it in the past, and no two relationships are the same. If I'm in a new relationship, why should I bring about what's in the old relationship in a new relationship? And this is also, I like what Jasmine wrote, it's grieving time and COVID, losing loved ones. And so that's another thing. It's hard to even really begin and build new relationships in during this COVID time, because people are grieving, people are have lost family, lost friends, lost spouses, and now all of a sudden they don't want to be alone. They're afraid, and they jump right into a new relationship, and next thing you know, they're like, they know nothing about the person, because the person did not bring about their past, and they're in the current. I mean, COVID-19 has done a number on us in so many ways. I know it seems like I'm speaking on different matters, but I'm putting stuff out there just so something can grasp, and so we can take it where it needs to go. I need my administrators to jump back in, or I hope you're writing and typing, because y'all my piece, y'all my game pieces that help me along the way. But let me see. Jasmine says, yes, always good to speak about your past so you can move on to the future and become better with one another. Yes, um, yes, yes, Jasmine, you're absolutely right. It's always good to do that. And yes, Robin says, Tia says, COVID has done a number on us. Yes, let me say, yes, Elder Brown. What happens is, it is really sad because we are in a place right now. Uh, exactly, you hit it on the head. You took it right out of my mouth. People are forgetting how to socialize and build relationship because we can't. And so now, even the people who are the strongest persons with are feeling the weight of not being able to socialize, not being able to connect. Do you know some people? We are naturally um, physical people. We're not naturally physical. So we need to have that intimacy. We need to have that interaction. And because of this, it's very difficult for us to interact with one another. Oh, you can't hear? You can't hear me? My volume is low? Am I too far away? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, Tia? Um, it said, looks like my camera is unplugged. Click the camera. Um, can you? I don't know what happened. Add to stream. Where's my camera? Okay, I'm here now. Okay, can y'all see me now? Can y'all see me now? Okay, Robin, are y'all there? I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. Are y'all there? Yay, okay, I'm back on. Okay, Pooja said yes. Okay, great, great, great. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened. But thank you all. Thank you all. Okay, okay. Yeah, these things they change up on it. Yes, I'm back. Yes, and yes, Jane, good. Okay, all right. Okay, so I am back. We had difficulties for a moment there, but I am back. Um, yes, yes. Okay, so let's get back to the topic that I think we were speaking about. Tia says she wanted to us to really talk about should we bring up our past relationship and the current relationship. And I was stating that a lot of times people feel that when you're in the current relationship, what's the what's the purpose of bringing up your past? Because I'm not sure if we had this topic once before, but if this is what y'all want to talk about now, that's what we would do. But if, like I said, if there's something else someone else have in mind, it's okay. We can go with it. But that's what we do here with Tea Time with Tracy. We are helpers of one another, and we never know what the need is or what someone needs to hear to help them along the way and build them up and help get their bonds together, help their relationships in any aspect. And so the thing about it is that I think that it is a good idea to bring up your past relationship to your in your current relationship. Now you don't have to go into. I think we did have this discussion. but I don't think you have to go into real depths of detail like finger pointing, but you need to let the person know that you're involved with. What your trigger points? What are the things that trigger you? What can happen in the relationship that you're presently in that can remind you? I mean, what's the do's and the don'ts? Because you can be in a relationship and you can have a trigger point wherein your trigger point could be, you know what, you expect them to text you all the time, and that may be something that you need, and your trigger point that it sets off something in you that, okay, when you don't get these texts, it shows you that the person is cheating, or you had that experience that you saw that those was one of the signs, and therefore when you see that that doesn't happen, you know these are things that you have to bring to the forefront, because again, you never know what are triggering factors in the current relationship. Make sense? Make sense? But I also want to talk also about this. Yeah, makes sense. Where are my administrators? I guess they said they're not interested in this. Okay. Oh, good to see you, Arthur. Good to see you. And so also, like I said, we're going into okay, thank you, Tia. Yes, because what happens is, for instance, not to say, oh no, I don't think anyone should be in an abusive relationship. No one should put their hand on each other. I don't care, no matter what, no one should put their hands on each other. Okay, but at the end of the day, um, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Thank you, Alicia. Tia decided that she wanted us to really divulge into, um, should we bring up our past relationship in the current. Yes, this was a topic that I believe that we had a couple of months back, but it's okay to revisit it again today. We have people who are commenting on it, so I I think that we can go ahead with it and continue with it, and then we can always go up into something else another time. But we were talking about Tia was saying that she wants to discuss about past relationship in the current, and I was explaining that I do believe that your past relationships should be discussed in the current, because you don't know what the triggering factors or triggering points that can cause the relationship not to become what it can be. Because a person, you go into a new relationships, and what she said, I think we automatically, what she said, I think we automatically bring our past relationship to our current relationship, good and bad. Uh, some people try to alter totally. Some people really do not like to bring up anything with their past, because a lot of people feel like my past is my past, and there's no need for me to bring it into this current place. This is something brand new. I'm a new person. He's a new person. We got a new relationship going. Nothing of where I came from has anything to do with where I want to go with you. And so a lot of times people do not like to bring in their past relationship, because they see it as just this is their way to avoid the new relationship, thinking that you're trying to make the new relationship as the old, or make up for what it wasn't, or the lack thereof. You understand? Does that make sense? So a lot of times people, because I can personally say, I've heard someone say, let's leave the past in the past. You are not. This is new, and I'm like, hey, hold up. I still, like I said, on the job asks you your history, and there's a reason for that. Even the doctors ask you for your history. Everybody want to know about your history. So it's okay for me to ask you about your history. You right? That's what I believe that to be uh, a good point. Jasmine says, yes, the person you start a new relationship won't know what makes you uncomfortable if you don't speak about it at all. Tell them the story about your past. Exactly, Jasmine. Exactly. Tia said, but sometimes you repeat the same past mistakes or there are triggers that your current may not be aware of if you don't. Exactly. Good to see you, Montrese. Good to see you back. All relationships takes time to evolve. You may not talk about everything from the past on day one, but a discussion eventually comes up. Exactly. Exactly. And the thing about it is that you don't even realize how important the past relationship dictates your experience. You become experienced because of your past. You learn the do's and the don'ts, not about that other person, but the do's and the don'ts about yourself. If you take stock, if you pay attention to yourself, because sometimes people get in relationships and get so engrossed and so involved in relationship on for the other person without acknowledging who they are in the relationship. You must acknowledge who you are and what you're bringing to the relationship so that it can become what it is you need it to be. But at the same time, be true to yourself and be honest with your past. And what, even if that meant that, even if you were the person in the past relationship who didn't own up, who wasn't like leveled up, say, if you were the one who you didn't have your, as they say, ducks in a row, or you didn't have your mind straight or on point, be true to that. You don't have to tell that person, but you can say, you know what, I've grown from that time, and I'm looking to continue to grow, and I'm looking to build with someone. But you have to know that who you're with. You have to pay attention to who you are and who they are, and if you're going on the same course. Make sense? Alicia said, Jasmine Roundtree, what if what made you uncomfortable with the ex doesn't make you uncomfortable with the new boo? Right, but I think what Jasmine was saying is that if by allowing that person to know what triggers you, she said, yes, the person you start a new relationship won't know what makes you uncomfortable if you don't speak about it at all. Tell them the story about your past. That's what she was saying. It's like, tell them about your past so that they'll know. Jane says, discussing your past relationship will teach you about yourself. Exactly. Exactly. And this is a way to take stock, because another thing too, sometimes, you could have been in a relationship, your past relationship could have been real sour, you know, and the guy could have been a real jerk. Let's just say the guy, because right now it's just the women on here. The guy could have been a real jerk. But at the end of the day, you saw him so much as being a jerk that you didn't see no place where you played a role at, that maybe you could have uh, helped him or showed him. Maybe there was something that you could have been, that you were so busy focusing on what he wasn't, instead of making yourself become what you need to be. So that way, if you didn't do that while you was in your past, you go into your new relationship, you're gonna go into that new relationship still with the mindset of how you were functioning in the old, because you were thinking that the old relationship is the person that it didn't make come out the way it should have, because of the person you was with. Alicia said, if you still have triggers, is that an implication you're not healed and shouldn't get into another relationship as of yet? That's interesting. That's interesting. If you still have triggers, hmm, that's very interesting. I think, I think, if you still have triggers, it's not an implication that you're not healed, but it's an implication that I believe that you need to. Um, that's when you stop and check. Okay, what is it about me that this bothers me to that degree? Because nothing outside of you should really trigger you. So that means there's really something going on the inside that you need to take care of. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? You see, we say things trigger us. We like to say that things from the outside, because you said, that an implication you're not healed and shouldn't get into another relationship as of yet. I think that let's just say per se, like I was using that example of I'm if I'm like we talk about relationships. There's love languages, right? Um, she said that could be why am I being triggered, right? Alicia says not being able to talk about your past and choosing not to talk about your past. Oh, that's exact. Oh, that's good. Exactly. There's a difference between the two. Yes. There's a difference between not being able to talk about your past and choosing not to talk about your past. Are two different. Because not being able to talk about your past means that there's some things that lie dormant. That's the part where evidently if you can't talk about it, not because only because of what you feel that's underlying that hasn't been dealt with, that's where the triggering comes in at a lot of times because there are things that are lying dormant. So you're like, I don't want to talk about my past because that means there's some things that were still haven't been dealt with. But then the choosing not to is mean you made a conscious decision to say, you know what, my past, I'm just going to drop it right there. And I want to make a brand new slate, a brand new start. You have people like that. Oh, look at that. My mentor is on. Hey, yes. So we have to understand yes, there's a major difference between not being able to talk about your past and choosing not to talk about your past. Uh, Honestly, relationships are really a substitute for marriage. Huh? Cuz I'm a little off on that. Relationships are really a substitute for marriage. I'm a little lost on that because you got to have a relationship to build you to marriage. Uh, well, I'm a little lost on that. So you might want to, I need you to divulge a little more on that one. So I believe, again, like I was saying, I believe that um, when Alicia said not being able to talk about your past, not being able to talk about your past and choosing not to talk about your past are different. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Alicia said it's overbearing when you meet someone and pour out all of your past. Oh, I don't think that. I don't think that that's a wise thing to do to pour all of your past because some people be like, I just want to let you know I'm coming to you. No, I don't want to. What they say. I'm transparent. That's the word that a lot of people like to use, and they spill out their whole words. They spill out their guts. I'm being transparent. Transparent. There's some things. I think they misuse that word a lot. Let the relationship evolve. Yes. Tia said, "Yeah, it's not fair to blurt everything out." No, I think that what people misinterpret when they think that being transparent is revealing and divulging all things. I say, everything. There's a time for everything, but I do believe that the floor should be open, where you're able to express to each other what your past relationships, what you encountered. Don't you have to go into depths of it? Tia said that. Tia said, "I'm being transparent gets on my nerve." Lisa said, "So I got to deal with my issues and your issues in this new relationship." But the truth of the matter is, too, in this day and age, and I mean, this is how how do you know, you take layers off. When you're building and you growing, and when you get into these relationships, we believe the relationship should ultimately lead to marriage. If that's what you were saying, because relationships ought to lead to marriage. That I believe that the coming together should be the bona fide purpose. I don't believe in playing house, and you know, I don't think that I don't think it was intended for us to come together like that. for us to play a thing. I think we are to be the thing. Be husband and wife. Be helpmeets to one another, and let's build and let's live this life, and let's do it together. Because we are better together, and with God we can do all things. And so, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. I, you can see past, you can see what he can see, he can see what you can't see, and together you can make it. But when you by yourself, you don't know what's behind you. You don't know what's coming behind you. You don't know what's coming up on you. I can't scratch my back. I need somebody to scratch my back. So I don't know where that come from, but anywho, let me just take a yeah. But Alicia says, "What's the purpose? What's the purpose of discussing past relationships with the new boo?" Um, Jasmine said, "Yes, lend to marriage and living together to get old with each other." Right. Um, Leisha said, "What's the purpose of discussing past relationships with the new boo?" I think the purpose of that is to see you want to, because you need to know who you're dealing with. You like to know, you can't take people off of face value. Number one, and number two, it's good to see how a person delivers themselves, how a person brings about how they how they how truthful are they? How let's see. You get to see where they're at. So once you get all the stuff out and build a relationship, what's too long to be together before marriage, in your opinion? Let's see. We're gonna get back to that. Jasmine said, finally getting 100% comfortable with one another. Okay. My cousin said, I'm thinking when you say relationship, you are speaking of living together or being intimate without being married. I think that's the old one. Um, oh, you talking about? I think you're talking about when that first relationship. The first question I have. We on something else now. We're on the fact of, do you bring up your past relationship in your new relationship? We're talking about the onset. We're talking about how do you creating a relationship, a new relationship with someone, knowing that you've come from a relationship that didn't work. Because if you're in a new relationship, that means the relationship failed, the one that you had prior to this one. And do you bring that into it? Do you discuss what transpired, what kept you, or what was the reasoning why it didn't work? Or you find out where you are in terms of your thought pattern when it comes down to relationships, and the person that you're involved with, where they are and what their mindset is. Now Tia says, so once you get all the stuff out and build a relationship, what's too long to be together before marriage, in your opinion? Well, you know, I've heard it doesn't take long for a person to know if they're going to marry you. I've heard that most men know within a 6 month period of time if you're the woman for them, if you're the woman that they want to marry. So I heard. Um, the reason why they say it don't because you know most men know men. Cause how about you help us out on that one? How about you help us out on that one? You see the question. So once you get all the stuff out and build a relationship, what's too long to be together before marriage, in your opinion? I don't. I think. I think that Alicia, catch Montrese up on this, uh, and we could really use you too, Pumpkin. I think that it doesn't require a long period of time to be married. Will y'all please share? Please share this live on your page. Please share this live. Oh my goodness, my dearest friend is here, Joyce. She says, for me, I think it's okay to talk about past relationships once you are established and have a strong foundation in your relationship. Okay, thank you, people. It does. Wanda said it does not take long. She says people wait because of personal reasons, but it's not like they don't know. That's good. That's good. That's good. This is the thing, right? Because I know I could tell you my son-in-law said to my daughter, my son-in-law knew in 6 months that he was going to marry my daughter, and they didn't get married until 2 years later. But he knew within 6 months she was the one for him. And I same thing with my daughter's father. My matter of fact, my daughter's father and I don't know, that may be fast for some, but he and I got engaged within 3 months of knowing each other. I met him that August and we got engaged that December and we got married that next year, September. So some would say that that was quick. Okay, no, it didn't last, but there was a whole lot of things with that also, and that's a whole nother a whole nother topic. But overall, let me see what Tia Alicia said. Tia is relative to a person. What's long to one person is not long to another. Exactly, because somebody else may feel like 6 months is a long time or short time, and somebody else may say 5 years is a long time. There have been people who've been in a, it's like it took you 5 years to know that this person was the one for you to marry, or did it just take you 5 years to make sure that you were in the place that you felt comfortable enough to say that you were willing to accept and to go through with marriage, that you didn't want to just go out there and get married and think that because just for the sake of saying I do, because people marry for all types of reasons. But I do believe that that's a whole nother topic there, because people get married for all kinds of reasons. And once you've done it, once you've been, now for those who've been married and divorced and desire to get married again, um, this next go around, they say it's a little harder because you have already gone the route and you got a lot of you know a lot of lights. You see a lot of red lights. you, you see you see a lot of red lights, and the thing about it is that it's not so much that they're red lights. What it is that you have felt that your thing is she said it is you 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 felt that because the road was so, wait a minute, hold up. Me too. It was March. We met, engaged June, and married the following June, and lasted 16 years. My sister, that's what she did. Yeah. And what happens is when you go the second time around, you feel like you actually, you don't like to think that you're on guard, but you are. You think that you're all together and you're ready, but your thing is what it is. Time has you have time was you giving of your time in a relationship called marriage, and then it dissolved, and now you're here again, back at the gate with the hopes of it happening again, and you're bracing yourself because you're wondering, oh, I'm talking right to you. I'm talking right. Can I get some hearts if I'm talking right to you? You brace yourself because you're like, in your mind, you're like, I cannot do this again and it not work. That's the first thing. Then the second thing is you're like, I am not taking not an ounce of anything that I've taken in the first one. And you have all of these things in your mindset. You have all, and you have to clear the slate, and you have to see it as if you're brand new. And that's the hard part. I think that's what the holdup is for a lot of people to getting married again, is because it's to let go of all of that and come new. And you're like, how could I ever come new when I've been there? And that's just like what my topic when I do every my morning teas. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. That means it's a brand new day. brand new relationship, absolutely new. You are a whole new being, a whole new person. You are nothing that you were in the previous marriage. Why? First of all, you're not the same age, and you've had experience that you didn't have, that you obtained in that marriage. And so now you're going into a whole new marriage or relationship, relationship that leads to marriage, and you're a whole new person. And so that's where the past no longer exists, because there's a new person here. The woman that I am now, the way that I think, the way I see life, the way I feel about life, the things, my hopes, my dreams, my aspirations, all of that is new. So why would I go into this relationship with the hangups from that of the old? Do that make sense? Do that make sense? Do that make sense? And so, no matter who it was in the because my marriage ended, that was me all the way. My husband wanted the marriage. I was married at 21, and I was married at 21, had my daughter at 25, and then I divorced at 30. My husband wanted the marriage. He wanted the marriage. And so um, I I did not fight. I didn't allow him to fight for it. And this takes me to my book. I wrote something in my book. This is amazing that we're on this. And I have put the marking on it because Montrese, Chelsea, and a couple of other people was really intrigued by this statement um, that I wrote. And listen to this. I wrote, it's amazing that what you want, you tend to give away because you think you can so easily get it again. Sad truth is, when you discover that all the time you were going through, all you saw was what you didn't like over what you did. Then you see all that you ever wanted, you already had it. It's a shame that it takes a lot of heartache and unnecessary troubles that you brought upon yourself because you thought you were all of that in the bag of chips, and find out you're far from being all of that. I wrote that in my book. I need to get a copy. That's something I wrote in my book about my marriage. You need to get a copy. Oh, Tia, you're thinking about getting married? I'm talking about getting married again, remarried. Let me see. We have my guy now. He wants to, but I pumped my brakes. Now I'm ready. Go for it. Go for it. Because you know what? I'm certainly gonna go for mine. I'm not gonna hesitate because I am a different person, and we should not let our past hinder us. Not anything that we've done, nor that anything that was done to us, cause us to be hindered by what awaits us. The other thing is that we have God on our side. We have God on our side, and we are believers. We are faith believing women. That's right. We are faith believing women, and we believe, and we have a different outlook on life. We have a different view in life, and out with the old and in with the new. And that old way of thinking, we have been transformed. We are now experienced, and so therefore we do not see, like I said, you don't hold the past to in your. Don't let your. I said this one time before. Um, don't let your Right, I already just said it. Don't let your past get in the way of you. Um, exactly. Not at all. We can't block our own blessings, and sometimes we make that mistake. You put your brakes, and let me tell you what that does to a man. That does, even the man can love you to the core and to the root. But when a man, it takes a lot for a man to come to that place to say that he wants to marry you. You have women that have been in a relationship with men for a very long time, and they still. I know a lady who was with her man for 17 years. 17 years. They done had kids, everything. And this man just refused to marry her. Thanks be to God he did do it. But the sad part about it was that what was the weight? What held you up? And the thing that held them up was that when he first asked her, she shunned him. And she had to wait all that time for him to come to terms to feel like she was real and ready and not just doing it just for the sake of because they was together. I'm just saying, you got some people like that. You got some people like that. And so um, marriage is honorable in the sight of God, and the bed is undefiled, you know. And I think marriage is a wonderful thing. And I think every woman, if they've never been married, should ought to want to have been married at least once. Want to know that a man think enough of them and willing to say, I do, or willing to make them their wife. I said this once before. I don't care how many times you've been engaged. Being engaged is nothing until that man take you to the altar. That man got to think enough of you to get you there, you know. And yeah, there've been women who my age, and the man never even not only did they not that they make it to the altar, the man never even asked them to take them there, and that's a blow. But why? So it says, they said marriage is not accomplishment. No, marriage is a ministry. You must remember that marriage is a ministry. It is orchestrated and ordained of God. Marriage is a ministry. And everyone that's married, hear me clearly, their marriage was not ordained of God. Therefore, God honors marriage, but that doesn't mean that all marriages, all that are married, have marriages. Everyone that is married does not mean they have a marriage. Can I get some hearts on that one? And what you want is recognizing that. Why are we coming together? What is the purpose of our union? God, will you get the glory out of our coming together? Not just because he asked me, not just because he loved me, but what is the ordained purpose of this union? What are we to accomplish in this world? What should we leave behind? What should our marriage resemble? What does it does for the I don't know. That's where I'm at with it. And so I mean I am I wrong? Alicia, help me. Am I wrong? Am I right? Like I said, everybody get married for different. Arnie, are you still there? Am I talking right? Can I get some hearts? Can I get some hearts? Y'all know I love the hearts. The hearts warm my heart. I mean, because you know, this is now the mind now it's a different. You're at a different place because I'm speaking to you, Tia, because this is you being you're getting remarried. You was married before and it didn't work, and now you're getting married again. And you want to make sure that history doesn't repeat itself. And so the first thing you do is you check yourself. You do what is it, Alicia? What's the word? Introspect. You do an introspect of yourself, okay? And of course, you know you gotta know the one that you're with, and you gotta know what they're coming. Ain't nobody talking. It's just, you're just this. Come on, all right? Yeah. And so you gotta you want to make sure now. What's the difference between what I've experienced before and what I'm going to experience now? You know, and you set the tone for that. You know, you determine now, and you make it clear. Okay, now, and if he's never another thing too. What if you marry someone who's never been that? What if he's never been married? And so you're almost like what they call it, quote unquote, one up on him. And so there are things that you know that's going to happen. And one of the things I always say, I said this in the wedding marriage that I did, and we have to always remember, in marriage, people change. We are changing constantly. Don't get married with the high expectation. You see, people make the mistake and marrying with a high expectation. There shouldn't be expectation. There ought to be. There's another word. Um, aspiration. Y'all have to have something to aspire to, but not have an expectation, because expectation is where you um, when you have a high expectation and it is not met, that's where the issue lies. But it's not about having expectation. You should have aspirations, meaning that the marriage has something to aspire to. You have something when you say you want them to aspire to. Aspiring, do that make sense? Am I making sense? So what are we aspiring to? Alicia, are you still there? What are you aspiring to? And so I think that's where a lot of the issues that comes in marriages on the onset is that each person goes in with a different expectation, when it shouldn't be expectations, but it should be aspirations. Thank you. Aspirate, what are we going to aspire to? We are aspiring to have a healthy marriage. We're aspiring to have a healthy lifestyle. We're aspiring to obtain things. What are our aspirations as a couple, as a unit? What are we aspiring to? But when you do that expectation, you be like, oh, we should have did this by now. No, or he ain't this or he. No, I am aspiring to be a good wife to you. I have aspirations to meeting your needs. This is what I'm aspiring to do. I'm aspiring to be your help me. And then what is he aspiring to? But it shouldn't be expect. There's gotta look at the two. There's a difference in the meaning of expectation and aspirations. Is this okay? Oh, we're well over an hour. We're well over an hour. So um, I'm gonna turn it in, but I hope this was helpful to some. Uh, you see, so you just said he's never been married. Okay, so this is where now and he's never been married, so he may have expectations instead of having aspiration, because he may expect because you've been there before, then you know how to do this thing. You see, and 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 it should not be. Oh, thank you, Jazz. Thank you. It shouldn't be expecting. It should be aspiring to. Because I think that's where we, even in just the onset of the relationship, where we get crossed at, is because we put somebody. Oh well, he wants the marriage, and he asks me, and you expect him to be this grand poobah type thing. Oh, cause you're still there. Thank you. So I think that we want to keep that in the forefront. Is that what are our marriage? What are we going to be aspiring to? You have to have a vision for your marriage. Because remember, you have children. You're going into this with children. And so your children, they're going to leave your nest. I don't know if he have children. He may still, because you still can have children. I don't know. But I'm just saying, you got to know the dynamics. You have to lay these things out. These things must all be on the forefront. And now in this case, yes, in this case, there ought to be of a clear understanding. And when I say have a vision, I'm not talking about just a vision to obtain tangible things. I'm talking about a vision for your life as a couple. The journey, the journey, the journey. Right. Putting it all on the table, laying it out. You know, this because this is a life changing event, a life changing event. And so you want to make sure that it is seen properly. Okay, because you go on a long haul. This is not just to say I did it again and let the chips fall where it may. No, you line it up. Okay, let's get on this course. Let's get on this path. And we can see because we got vision and the lights on it. We can see the ditch in the way. We can see the boulder over here. We can see the pebble over there. And you build your relationship and create an unbreakable bond. And it starts here. I hope I'm making sense. I hope I'm making sense. I hope I'm making sense. And so, like I said, overall, it's about creating, remembering if you're getting married again, we who was married once before and we're doing it again, we ought not to, I believe, I do believe that we ought not to go into this next marriage or this relationship with, and it's just say the marriage with expectations. We ought to have aspirations, things that our reunion, our together, what the vision is, and what do we plan on, where our coming together, the purpose of us coming together, what is it going to, uh, how God's going to get the glory out of this union, just simply because we're married. And I'm not just talking about just because you're working in doing the work of the Lord in the church building. I'm talking about life ministry. Your union ought to bring life to someone else. Your union ought to give somebody something to aspire to. When they see your marriage, when they see your union, your ups, your downs, your go throughs, your this, your that, and people, you're not saying that, mind you, when I say that, it's not saying that they want to be you, but they want to aspire to, saying that that's a union. I've seen them, their go throughs, and I'm seeing them rise as a unit. You can feel the union, you can feel the unity, you can feel, I don't know, that's just where I'm at. When I may be a little off, but I hope I'm not. But I feel that that's my mindset, and I'm like, God, please let me see this, let this be for me, and let them understand that I want you to get the glory out of my life, out of my union. I want the world to see what a happy married woman looks like, even though we know how life is. I don't know. That's just my personal. But anyway, anywho, anywho, that's just where I'm at. So, um, that's gonna be the end of this. But Tia, was I okay? Was this okay? Was this okay? Is this okay? Can I get some hearts? Can I get some hearts? Can I get some hearts? So, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, as you all know, as I always say, that oh, thank you, Tia, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Tea Time with Tracy is where we come together to encourage, to inspire, to um, admire, and to assist each other and building unbreakable bonds and building our relationships. We know we have an enemy after our soul, and he does not like relationships. He does not like unity. He does not, he does anything that he can to cause us to not um, build and mend and be what God had intended our relationships to be. And so what he does, he comes and he infiltrates He caused all kinds of chaos. But what we do here at Tea Time with Tracey, we have these discussions that we be able to bring something to the table where it can be an applicable discussion, as well as where people can take it, walk away, and feel that they can apply something to their life, or they can see that they have been a ability to make a change, or mend, or revive, restore, build, or even create. That's what we do here at Tea Time with Tracey. So thank you, each and every one of you, for tuning in with me on tonight. If you like to be a blessing to Tea Time with Tracey, if you like to send any contributions, you are welcome to do so. You can cash up $ for Tea Time, or gifts are appreciated. We thank you for your comments, and we thank you for participating in the discussions. We always appreciate you. You can also follow us um, through our tea. We also have our podcast, Tea Time with Tracey podcast. We're on Spotify, we're on iTunes, we're on Apple. Again, you are welcome to contribute to Tea Time with Tracey. As you can see, the scrolling across the screen, it is the Cash App is $for Tea Time. We welcome it, and we also welcome you to get a copy. Do get a copy of An Unbreakable Bond, the ultimate mother and daughter relationship, as I have made mention of a little quote that was given inside of my book. You are welcome to get this purchase today. So go to my website, www.traceyhines.com, and you're most definitely welcome. I'll certainly be glad to get you a copy. I do have a new um, short book coming out, ebook. I'm just in the process of waiting for one situation to take place, and you will be hearing about it between, I guess, maybe tomorrow, or I know before the week is out. So it's a note from the heart, but you're going to see it, and I pray that you all will jump on it and get this ebook. And also, please join my group, Tea Time with Tracey group. You're welcome to do that. And so, as I always say, I always sign off letting you know, out of all the relationships that you can have in the world, there's no greater relationship than having a relationship with our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. If you have not accepted Him as your personal Savior, I suggest that you do it on today. The Bible tells us in Romans 10:9, if you confess with your mouth and believe in your heart that Jesus died and God rose Him up, you shall be saved. And so I just simply say that you can repeat after me and say, Lord Jesus, come into my heart, create in me a clean heart and renew the right spirit within me. Forgive me of all my sins. I repent of my sins. I believe in your death, burial, and resurrection. I believe you died on Calvary. You traded places with me so that I can be redeemed back to the Father. I accept you today as my Lord and as my Savior. If you've done that, the heavens are rejoicing, and so are we here at Tea Time with Tracey. And I also will say unto you, I would suggest that you find yourself a Bible-based church. And you're always welcome to attend the church that I attend. And I attend Full Effect Gospel Ministries, where the founder is General Overseer Bishop Archie L. McGinnis II, and our First Lady is Lady Dr. Cynthia McGinnis. We're being taught in the Word, and we're being built up in our faith. And you most certainly are welcome to join in with us. Just go to our website, www.effect900.com. God bless you all. Have a wonderful evening, and I will meet with you again. So, signing off. I am signing off. It's